ratio collide, standard deviation, tell me how the data tied to spread. Line up best fit on the scatter plot, I write it, stay ahead. Semicolon, join two clauses that get each end on their own. Comma special trip, yeah, but the trap, I'll leave it well alone. Subject verb agreement, keep the singular in line. Dangling modifier, but put the noun right after every time. Mixing with the numbers, yeah, the grammar is a sport. I've been in the lab so long, every rule is in my court. I know the test now. Every trap, every pattern, I can show it now. Blue book open 2 modules and I own it now. Started in the dark, watch a kid turn it around. I know the test now. I know the test now. Took the thing that I feared, made it bow down. All them quiet nights finally paying loud. I know the test now. I know the test now. Say it proud. Words and context, read the run, the blink, I catch the vibe. Don't need the hardest word, just the ones that clues describe. Command of evidence pointing me to the line that prove the claim. Quantitative, read the graph, the freaking data say the same. Main idea ain't the detail, it's the big point of the thing. Inference, I stay inside the text that don't add anything. No question of what the student trying to do, I lock the goal. Match the bullets to the purpose, pick the choice, I play the role. Boundaries, I just find where the sentence start and end. Two text question, how the second author pushback could defend. Process of elimination, cross the two that's clearly wrong. Then I read the lesson close, cause close read is where I'm strong. Time for question, budget did not move, I never stop. Mark it for review, I circle back, I answer. All started where the practice test was leaving me in tears. Put the work in every night and watch it bury all my fears. I know the test now. Every trap, every pattern, I can show it now. Blue book open 2 modules and I own it now. Started in the dark, watch a kid turn it around. I know the test now. I know the test now. Took the real thing I feared, I made it bow down. All them quiet nights finally paying loud. I know the test now. I know the test now. Say it proud. Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the live stream. I'm your host, John, here, back at again doing SAT questions until I get one incorrect. We are back here again on Saturday night, 7 days before the August 22nd SAT. And I think it's going to be a good stream. I think it's going to be a fun time for sure. Probably going to get through a bunch of questions tonight. Or maybe not. Maybe it's going to be really bad. I'm going to get out on like the 6th question and just completely ruin everything, as often happens. But yeah, I think should be pretty good. Right before this, I got off a call and Mission 1400 Plus dropped some awesome lore in there. You know, for those of you who were there on the call, I think some of you in the chat definitely were. Yeah, you know, some crazy lore got dropped in it about my life, about my... Okay, wasn't that crazy, admittedly, but I mean, it was maybe somewhat interesting, maybe somewhat entertaining for some people. So definitely join that if you are interested in hearing more about that. I gotta say, I mean, you know, the SAT, you know, we're really in the SAT grind season now, obviously. I mean, a week before the August test, which is obviously one of the biggest ones of the year. And I mean, you know, it's honestly kind of like stressing me out because, I mean, you know, you're surrounded by all these people here who are stressed out about the test. And, you know, it's just like, wow, this is just like crazy. This is chaotic. And I'm just like, you know, why can't we all just like chill out a little bit more? Why can we, okay, maybe that's like a little bit crazy to say, but yeah, maybe you should chill out some more. Maybe, I don't actually know. Yeah, but 7 days before the test, that is actually kind of crazy. I'm curious what all of you guys are doing these last 7 days. You know, for those of you who are locked in, I mean, you know, are you grinding out the practice problems this week? Are you doing practice tests? Are you trying to just like learn as much as you can? You know, have you been procrastinating up to this point? You can comment in the chat how it's been going so far. So yeah, back again for the stream tonight. Just going to get right into it. As usual, we have the super chats thing again. You can see in the description of this video for all of the super chats that you can put on the stream. If anybody gives a super chat, I guess we get one more freebie question. So that's good. So we get one more question that we can get incorrect and have the stream keep going. So keep that in mind as always. Yeah, but as always, in addition to that, I will get one freebie question in the first 5 as usual. So just as a reminder on that, one freebie in the first 5. Okay, getting into it now. 15 by 20. Larger thing is 456. Okay, I guess, yeah, we can just find the area. So the area would just be... Oh, wait, okay, yeah. If it's a uniform width, okay, so then we would just, like, be able... Okay, so it'd just be, like, 15 plus 2x, I assume. Yeah, it'd be 2x. Yes. Yeah, okay. Yeah, plus times the 20 plus 2x, and that must together equal 456. Let me put the ones there. Dang it. So 2, I think it seems fine. Anything I did wrong? Okay, the total area of everything, yeah, should be right. So yeah, I just kind of did that there. If it's a thing, I mean, maybe I should actually draw a thing for there, but like, yeah, you can imagine kind of what that would look like. Okay, immediately going into a question like this. Okay, that's crazy. Okay, so when the people, they took a map and they put it online, so many people thought they should like fix it up. So like they like do stuff to make the design look a little bit better. And yeah, it'd be very easy to do that. But they're not errors. The jagged headlands, the headlands that could be known from a week of fog, a compass that hesitated. Okay, so it's like based on a number of factors, that is why it is like a weird thing. That's why it like has all these problems to it. Even the blank space that mean, so they're not negligence but uncertainty. So it's not mean so okay, so there's all these reasons why it had all these errors to it. So it does not mean that it's innocent. So it's not mean it's innocent, basically. So the harbors run too large because merchant needed investors to imagine ships at anchor there. And the route is traced with unusual confidence. Okay, so like there are some things that they did there that are just like a bad idea that like maybe shouldn't have been done. So lose the argument is making about what mattered, what is measurable. Okay, so yeah. So if you're trying to fix the map, you're going to lose all these different factors that are like really important as for like what they're trying to say with the map. So central idea of the text, yeah, they shouldn't correct the errors basically for that reason. Okay, they should not be revised. Oh yeah, that's probably it. Okay, not trying to uncover the deception really. Okay, so yeah, I think gotta be B. Because yeah, it's distortions show what's, just different factors that they want to point out. 5 to 8 for male to female. Okay, so yeah. Oh yeah, I mean, I guess honestly, could it just be something like? Okay, yeah. So we start here like 5 to 8, so that would be the ratio, and then we just remove. Okay, so that'd be the male to female. So removing 60 female, so we can say minus 60, and then here we add 45 to it, and then together that must be 2 to 3. And then this, I would put like a variable there because it is not definitely 5 and 8. It's just like that's the ratio. So I think this is probably fair. And then, is there any reason why this would not be good? Yeah, I don't think so. Oh, so the amount of male guppies, so that'd be 5x1, so 1275. Okay. I don't really see any reason this would be wrong, but I mean, it's always just a little bit worrying when you go through those ones. I mean, more so in this, I guess, because we actually would lose the stream if we do. But yeah, I mean, there's no reason why it should be harder to go through like a question like this, because it just naturally is just the same stuff you would do even if it's multiple choice, but it just always feels a little bit worse. I'm sure you can agree. So these plants that can grow on rock and from missing nutrients from the thin films. Okay, so they can get stuff from the cracks of the rock, basically. So rainfall is seasonal. Okay, so when there's not that much rain, and then when there's when they dry very fast. Oh wait, this is grammar. Okay, dang it. Okay, I did not need to read that. Yeah, I think it must be D because this seems like an independent clause. Yeah. Independent clause. Okay, is this our freebie question? Yes, it looks like it is. Unfortunately, it seems like it's a somewhat easy question. But, okay. Freebie done. Now we're in this for real. How do you start an adaptive mock test? I'm not really sure what context you mean in that. Like how should you strategize? How should you prepare your strategy for it, or you mean how do you actually access one for the first time? Okay, so people thought that they abandoned this thing because there was a big drought. So there was reduced rainfall at some point, so which would support the idea that it was from drought. Okay, but it's decades after the thing had already dropped. Okay, so it dropped, and then there was this big drought. The drought was not the events that problems and residents should leap, rather later developments that coincide with the region's broader decline. Okay, so I guess I'm thinking something like therefore, basically cause and effect. Yeah, okay, yeah, basically cause and effect there. We also have in other words. That probably kind of works. All right, so not an example or even so. In other words or therefore. Okay, I'm thinking probably is more therefore rather than in other words, just because it's not. Okay, I mean, I think they could come up with a genuine reason why it would have to be in other words, but I definitely am reading this as kind of like they give this evidence for the thing, which would support this idea. So, in other words, more the idea of restating, like they're taking something that's just already said and just saying it in a slightly different way. They're taking evidence here and using it as the cause and effect. So, because of that evidence, there would be this. I mean, I could be wrong on this. I mean, we could lose the stream on this question, honestly. So, I mean, L if that is what happens. But, I mean, I'm fine defending that, I guess. And, I mean, I think it's kind of maybe a bit of a cringe question. Larry says, in other words, usually wrong. So, I mean, that's probably fair. Let's give it a shot. Let's go. It's a little bit worried about that one, honestly. A little bit worried. I mean, again, I had my reasoning, but always a little bit stressful. Got to be honest. Yeah, it says, yeah, restatement, rephrasing. Yeah, it actually gives a new conclusion. That's good. Good one there. Oh, wait, actually, what's this? Okay, okay, these are just two different questions. Okay, so then P is where R and S intersect. T is perpendicular to U, where U has that. Okay, so it passes through it. Okay, so this should be pretty simple. So the line that it intersects, is it literally something like that? Okay, I guess this is literally the point. And then we have this here. I'm just trying to think, okay, can I just do this off the top of my head, find out what the slope would have to be? So perpendicular to it, 7x minus y is equal to 3. Let me just find out what the slope would be. So if we subtract 7 from both sides, we get negative y equals 3 minus 7x. And then y equals negative 3 plus 7x. So the slope of it is 7x, so it's got to be negative 1/7 for the slope of this one because of perpendicular rules. So we take table there. We take this. I'll just go and copy and paste. I have to always say that that's not really something you can do on the SAT, but it's fine, I guess. And then we do that, and then we just do here y1 tilde 1 or negative 1/7 x1 plus b. So I'll eliminate that. And so, yes, it passes through that point. It would be inherently perpendicular to that thing. And then y coordinates of y-intercept of line t. Okay, that number would be, so this negative 0.9 thing. So it can't be this one. Not that one. It can't be that one because that's an improper fraction, so. Okay, yeah, that would be it. Any errors here? 5x minus 2y equals 8 would be that one. 3x plus 4y equals negative 1. And then the intersection point would be this point there. We put that in there. We take this and we say that must be that because that was what the thing would have to be. Oh, yeah, okay, because it's okay. Y coordinate of the y-intercept. Yep. Good stuff there. Okay. Okay, I guess this is our lives now. Okay. Okay, so people usually think that there's like a sudden thing that is a technical breakthroughs are like a sudden big thing that just like suddenly happens. But in actuality, it is patchy. So I assume they're just trying to say it's not the case, maybe. Mariner's compass. So they thought the Mariner's compass was used in the early 1300s because it was first described then. It was first described in the early 1300s. So they thought it was adapted very early in the early 1300s, this compass thing. But a new thing from the port of Linden, a magnetized needle mounted on a pin, and the paper's been dead. Okay, so several decades earlier, there was something that probably was basically the exact same thing as this compass. So probably not. Okay, so people try to say that's proof that they're already crossing the Atlantic at that point. So they use the compass to cross it. Okay, but the notebooks are stuff that would be only short coastal routes. So they probably just use it to keep bearings in the fog. So it's just like maybe like the coast of like England or something. They just use it. Remember, like go from England to France or something like that. So probably not earlier era of ocean. So probably wasn't that they were going to like the U.S. earlier or like to America early, but the blue water tools first served. Okay, so first they were just like probably like lesser purposes, and then they got bigger as time went on. And also, like, they don't know. Like, that was just, like, a fragment. That was just, like, a portion of the big thing. Okay, so overall structure here. So, basically just the idea that they present some claim, then they give a bunch of reasons why it may not be accurate. Or, okay, well, I mean... Okay, well, they give a claim, then they, like, have something that, like, is supporting that claim, basically. Well, I mean, yeah, there's, like, a claim going on. There's, like, a thing supporting it, and there's something, like, disagreeing with that, basically. I think I get what's going on here. But, yeah, basically the main point of it is that they thought it was for this specific thing, and then they actually found out maybe it wasn't. It was just like shorter strips. Missing, introduced a newly found. Depends why the. Okay, so not confirms that was earlier. Presents a finding that's encouraged. Doesn't encourage the overstates conclusion. I'm fine going with this, but I'm not sure what it means with this encourage and overstate conclusion. Newly found document. I mean, doesn't it start by saying the newly found document? I don't think so. The archivist's main aim is to move the date. I mean, I just don't think about it is the thing. Okay, so this one is going to be a bit of a rough one, I think. But at the same time, maybe not, because I mean, there's this issue with B here, because they're finding that has encouraged an overstated conclusion. Well, I mean, I guess I don't really just actually know what that's trying to say, basically. But disputes the idea that compass use spread quickly offers the Linden thing. This is from the website Onico. You can see it with the link in description. Concludes the tool was used. That's a little bit too absolute, I would definitely say. Like, they even say here that it's only a fragment, so that would also kind of, like, not support that thing. So I think that's actually... Yeah, I think I have to eliminate it for that reason, actually. I'll bring that one back into play, maybe. Maybe this one as well. Yeah, it doesn't confirm that it began earlier. So yeah, I guess really between B and C here. Standard account. Okay, I think B is probably going to be it, honestly. Like, yeah, this is... Yeah... The archivist's main aim is to move the. Yeah, it doesn't say anything about the idea that it's a main aim. So, I mean, I think for that reason, I'm willing to go for B. It's not the best. Yeah, I think we go for it. Okay, nice stuff there. Yeah, I probably overthought that one a little bit too much, I'll be honest. But, I mean, now this thing is still kind of weird, like weird wording, but that's fine, I guess. I kind of just want to do this one just off the dome, but I feel like I probably should just write it just in case. So angle of elevation, that would be 30 degrees. 12 foot. So I guess this would be the 12 feet. The height of the flagpole, so that. So yeah, pretty, yeah. So it'd be tangent of that, basically. So let's go into degrees mode. Tangent of 30 would be equal to opposite, which is h divided by 12. So 6.9282, 4 square root of 3, probably that. Am I really going to overthink this one? 12-foot shadow, yeah, that must mean the horizontal. Is there... Shadows are on the ground. Shadows are definitely on the ground. Okay. Height divided by 12. Yeah. Trust the process. Wait, where's the height of flagpole? Okay, yes. Trust the process. Yeah, the question counter is not part of it. That was just something made by somebody in the community. I have to sneeze again. Wow. Second time in 2 nights I've sneezed on stream. That's weird. Maybe it's a sign. Okay, so when a plant gets a lot of lead contamination, they show that it could be an evolution of the tolerance. It's getting more tolerant as time goes on. Okay, so they took seeds from urban and rural populations, and they measured the biomass of the seedlings after 4 weeks. So they measured how much it grew, either no added lead or 300 lead. Seedlings produced 30%. Okay, wait, so they took it... So I guess they did 4 different tests, basically, rural and urban, and then also whether it was in or not. Urban produced 30% more biomass than rural seedlings in the 300. Okay, so in the toxicated one, but they did not differ in the no lead. Would that make sense? Yeah, I think that should make sense. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, they assumed that it gave them a tolerance to lead. Additional finding that most directly strengthened the researcher's conclusion. I guess basically they just discovered that there was some gene maybe in the thing or something like that did it. Urban plots averaged 280 ppm, while rural plots were under 10, including long-term exposure differences. ppm is parts per million. I don't actually really know what this means. I assume it's something wrong, though. To base tolerance. That maybe works, but the fact that it's grown for years in this thing, would that really be a good idea for their conclusion? That maybe actually is a good idea. Okay, well that would just kind of ruin the whole thing, so probably not that. Yeah. Okay, so I brought up the point here about the fact that the generations thing kind of just shows that, okay, genetically based tolerance to lead. That would mean that they would always, there's something in their DNA basically that makes it so they can survive with lead more. Okay, I think I'll go get rid of A. Between B and C now. Tolerance, I mean, I guess tolerance would probably indicate the fact that they still are getting it. Like, they're still uptaking it. They're still consuming the lead, which is like they're more okay with it. Would that make sense? Like, how do you really classify tolerance, really? But okay. I think we go for this one. Base tolerance to lead. Oh, yeah, urban descendants. That actually might be a really important word for this one because, yeah, that would indicate really something in the DNA. Okay. If we lose on this question, I guess, like, okay, that's fine. I'd hate that, though. But I mean, okay, my reasoning here is just the fact that I think tolerance indicates the fact that they would actually just be... I think it would indicate the fact that they're consuming it, but just not, they're okay with it. Like, they can consume it and be like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. That's what tolerance means. This I do not think is good because it says reduce uptake or sequestration. Maybe that could be considered tolerance, but I think that's more just the idea that they just, like, learn to avoid it better, which would not be tolerance. Yeah, I think I'm going to go for B. Let's go. Yes. Yes, let me see what their reasoning is. Yeah. Okay, that's pretty good. I don't think that's exactly the reasoning I suggested, but I mean, it's somewhat in the same category, I guess. Okay, so, we've got rewarded with an easier question here, I guess. Yeah, this is much easier, okay. Oh, yeah, we can just say, like, y equals p 2x minus 5 plus q. Y equals 3p minus 6x plus 4. And then we just go ahead and try out each of these. So 6 and then negative 26. Does that work? I think that works. Let's try the others. 3, 19. Okay, that's not it. Negative 6 and 34. Nope. 6 and 34. Oh, wait. Actually, wait. Yeah, it said infinitely many. Oh, dang. That's actually rough. Yeah, it said infinitely many. Okay, yeah, that's so. Important distinction there. Yeah. Nearly sold on that one, actually. Yeah, I see somebody in the chat. Yeah, I see Shanti said that as well. Okay, so they're trying to see how much this novel went around by seeing how many copies were in each catalog, I guess from the old catalogs. So how much they survive depends on how well preserved. Like, if you just, like, destroy a bunch of books, like, they're not gonna, it's gonna seem like they didn't survive. Yeah, so better funded archives, they might just find, yeah, more stuff. Or, like, I'm not sure, they mean, like, if the library is better funded in the past, or it doesn't really matter, yeah. Catalog holdings with contemporary. Oh, wait, they're looking just at the amount of surviving things listed. Okay, so there's, like, amount of times that people are still getting it from the libraries. Okay. Catalog holdings. So, okay, so they're seeing how much it appears in the library's inventory, basically, versus their advertisements. So, like, how much of the contemporary booksellers are advertising it. The distribution had been more uniform. The distribution had been more uniform than the catalog counts. Okay, I think it's okay. I'm a little bit confused as for the actual logistics here for what it's saying, but it seems like it's just going off the fact that, yeah, like, based off this fact about the things with better funding, they analyzed that is actually uniform. Like, there wasn't. Wait, actually, we know. But if it's uniform, then yeah, it wouldn't be the case. Okay, so this actually contradicts the other thing. Okay, so yeah, they're thinking it's going to be unequal. And then this one says here that the thing. So, however, is it actually however here? Is there an easy way to use regression? Maybe I'm crazy for saying this, but I feel like regression is actually not that hard. I mean, after you use it like a few times, like it actually is like maybe arguably easier than most other things. Okay. I just don't really want to do this. Yeah, Larry's got it. He can solve it in under a minute. I think we go for however. Uniform. Oh wait, no, but uniform. Okay, wait. Okay, now I'm actually completely disagreeing with what I thought before. So they're talking first about how the distribution is, and then they're saying, but survival depends on preservation. So okay, so I think it's not contradicting really. Okay, yeah, I see now. The chat's also saying A. Yeah, okay, let's go with A. Well, I nearly completely thought it was a different thing, but yeah, I thought I was saying that the distribution. I was confusing the distribution with the catalogs. That was bad. That was a bad question. Well, actually, no, it's not a bad question. I was just bad. I was bad. I was so bad. Really bad. X minus 4. Okay, so just literally that. Probably just this. Okay, not that. Okay, good stuff. Well, you did save me, I guess. But well, I saw that was right before I looked at the chat. But I mean, I guess you gave more confidence for sure. So that's fair. Got vocab. So they want to see why this decoder became less accurate. So it became like increasingly worse, basically. Okay, so yeah, it just declined over time. It got worse over time. And then the error patterns, they resemble stuff shown in other. Okay, I'm not sure what all this saying, but yeah, I guess I see conversions. They arose from different things, but they supported the thing. Yeah, I mean, I think it's okay, bro. There's like 3 different answers in the chat. Yeah, I think convergent. Yeah, consistent. I mean, yeah, consistent requires kind of a different kind of thing. I'd be saying like it. I mean, there's an argument for it. Okay. Okay, so we're really just trying to see what are the magazines and then the total amount. So, okay, 100 minus 40 minus 35 minus 15. So 10% is the thing. So 0, 1, let's say t for total. And then divide by the t, which is the actual total. And then, yeah, okay. Then non-magazine, 120 non-magazine, so minus 120. Then it'd be, yeah, just... Okay, sir. How many fiction books? 40% fiction, so 40% of 720. So probably 288. Okay, yeah, that's definitely 10% there. And then we do t minus 120. Remove 120 non-ones, 10% of it. It would still be the same up there. No magazines are removed. Okay, 12%. And then 40% of 720. Fiction books in the thing originally. Yes, okay. Grammar, finally a grammar one. Oh, wait, this is a complex list. Okay. Yeah, this one's really kind of confusing, but I mean, we just see here the semicolon followed by and, so I mean, we just kind of have to know it's a complex list. Yeah, that'd be confusing if it was not a complex list, honestly. Oh, we got statistics. Listening to instrumental music improves quiz scores. 120 11th grade students from the school roster. Okay, 80%. I think they were so close to getting it to be like one where there's actually like a broad population that they could use, but then they say 80% agree to participate. It's so bad. The teachers literally have the ability to just like force the students to do it because they can just like make it a grade, but they still don't do it. That's crazy. 40 of the participating students study with 30 minutes. Random. Okay, so cause and effect, but low population. Okay, no, there is cause and effect. Could it be D in any way? No, no. No. Yeah, it's gotta be A. Just the ones who agree to participate. Describe the practical recommendation to audience already familiar. Okay, so I want to say, what was the recommendation for what they should do, assuming you already know what Raman spectroscopy is? Okay. I guess suggested basically means, yeah. Okay, so probably not that one. Okay, so yeah, what do they actually recommend here? Focusing on the intensity ratio of two characteristic peaks. Okay, so probably not A. Overall spectra comparisons. Okay, no, not that. I'm trying to avoid having to actually like think about what this thing is saying. Oh wait, actually wait, no, this is... Okay, actually, I think definitely C. Okay, no, this is relative. Okay, so I think definitely. Dang, I'm shocked on that. What? Dang it. Wait, in peak intensities? In the relative intensities of the peaks. Dang, this is like a jump scare for me. I thought for sure that there was no reason why that would be wrong. This is not one where I thought I was going to be getting this one wrong. But active ingredients, peak, different thing. The research recommend using intensity ratios. Yes, focusing on absolute intensity. Wait, which one I choose? I'm not sure if I can remember. Wait, which one to even choose at this point? Absolute intensity of characteristic peaks. Wait, that's actually is definitely a different thing. Dang it. Yeah, I see people said C, but many people said A as well. So, dang it. That's actually, dang it. Okay. That was an easy question. Okay, maybe not easy, but like absolute intensity versus intensity ratio. I mean, yeah, I feel like that's an easy thing just because, like, I mean, it's, if you have the chance for, like, literally a word to just be wrong, that's, like, a pretty good situation. But it was, like, it was a word I guess I did not look at too much. Well, I saw somebody in the chat say C as well, so I thought I would just be fine going for it, but not the best one to lose on, I gotta be honest. I think should have been an easy one. Yeah. Hate to see it. Dang, yeah, I'm mostly mad about this. Dang it. Oh yeah. As always, if anybody donates a super chat of $2 within the next, I guess, 60 seconds, I will continue the stream. As always. What time even is it? Haven't been going for a full hour. Yeah, if anybody does do that, but I don't think anybody's going to. Anyways, thanks so much, everybody, for coming on the stream tonight. Unfortunate loss tonight, but thanks, everybody, for Larry, Shiny, everybody else who came tonight as well. We will be back again for another stream tomorrow at 9:30 p.m. EST, and hopefully that'll go better. Dang. I will regret this moment for the rest of my life. I will really regret this moment. Intensity ratios. Using intensity ratios. But then usually focusing. That's kind of like a fair point, though. Focusing, using. Okay, no, that's definitely not big enough for a difference. Okay, then. Well, yeah, I'll keep doing it if anybody sends a super chat in. If anyone sends it, I mean, ask your parent permission first if that is what you want to do. But oh yeah, it doesn't look like anybody's going to send it in tonight. Thanks everybody for watching. I will see you back again at 9:30 p.m. EST tomorrow. As I said before, have a great rest of your night and a great rest of your Saturday as well. See you then.
Same test, same stress, different morning. It's for you, Elliot. Alarm ringing 6 a.m., mind already on the edge. Whole week I've been living on caffeine and revenge. Blue book signing that login feel like a jump scare. College board in the shadows, let's see who we cut here. Mom saying do your best, I'm trying to fake a grin. By my stomach running sprints like it's practice in the gym. Walking tests and the kids flexing with the name brands. I'm in a hoodie in my head, beef